There are so many opportunities and ways of leading, so many different styles and approaches. How do you know which one to take? And how do you know which one is the right one for you? So in this video, I'm going to help you with that. So hello, my name is Michael Quigley. I am the founder of Catalyst. I'm the creator of the award-winning online Catalyst platform, catalystlearning.com, and the creator of the Catalyst podcast, Food for the Journey. I'm on a mission trying to help 1 billion people while I'm still here. So I want to help you today in your leadership with understanding different approaches to leadership. So we're going to go into three different ones that you can take. And then I'm going to guide you in 3 questions you can ask yourself so you can figure out, well, which approach do I take for the right situation. So why are we going to go into 3? Well, being a leader in today's modern world offers you amazing opportunities. You might be a group leader, team leader, you could be a manager, you could be the startup of a business, you could be a business owner, you could be a CEO, you could be a parent, you could be an older sibling. So many different opportunities now for leadership and ways and chances you can take to step up and try and help other people and move things forward and improve the world. But with that, a lot of people inherit leadership positions without a tradition or without any training. So when they're a really good salesperson and suddenly they're sales manager of 20 people, what do? Right? So the first I would definitely recommend type of leadership you check out. This is the 7 pillars of servant leadership. Robert Greenleaf's approach to leadership is servant leadership. So you serve the people that you lead. I've followed this for 10 years. It's absolutely world class. That book that I've just showed you, read it, check out. It's so good. So that's the first way you can approach leadership. You say, I am here to serve. I'm here to serve my people. I'm here to serve the company or my family or the local community. It's not a slave, it's a servant. A servant is somebody who's humble, low to the ground, willing to try and improve things for other people. Yeah. So it's not a leadership style where it's like, I'm in charge, follow me. It's the opposite. Yeah, it's guiding, it's inspiring, it's helping people, it's trying to serve people. So that's one approach you could take. Second approach you could take, this is my book, Loving Leadership. So I was really inspired by servant leadership, and I built on that. My approach to it is, well, why would you serve somebody? When is it? What's behind all that? And for me, it's love. If you base your leadership on love, you love yourself, you love other people, you love the group, you love the company, you love the cause, you love the world. If that's the basis for your leadership, then that's a really strong, solid base with leading people. So you might think, yeah, I really like that. What's another one you could use? Another one is called Situational Adaptive Leadership, or basically adaptive leadership. And that was Paul Hersey and Ken Blanchard in the 1960s. What they said is, and this is really interesting, you can and should really adapt your leadership style based on the maturity, the competence, and the confidence of the people that you're leading or your followers. So I'll come back into an example of that, right? So it's not I choose my style based on me, it's I'll choose my leadership style based on the people that I'm serving. Okay. So those are the 3. Now I want to go through some examples to help you of, well, when should you apply the different ones? Like, how would you know which one to do? So let's say servant leadership. You think, I'm interested in that. When would that be a really good one? Well, I've got a lot of friends who are vegans and they care about the environment and they care about animals. So that's a really good approach for leadership in relation to that. I am serving the animals. I'm serving the planet. It's not about me. It's about a great cause. And that servant's heart, yeah, is a really powerful one. So it could just show up in the way that you look after your dog or the food that you choose, or the way you travel and all these kinds of things. So that could be servant leadership. A really interesting one for loving leadership was I was talking to a friend and she's an immigration lawyer in America. And when she read my book on loving leadership, she said, I absolutely love it because that's what I tell my team. We're dealing with very vulnerable people here in immigration and we're trying to help them in vulnerable times. So I always say to my team, sprinkle all our little policies and procedures and where we talk to them with a bit of love. Yeah. So you might think if I'm dealing with people very vulnerable, I'm going to base my leadership on love for them. Yeah, because love is a really good solid basis, isn't it? If you're dealing with vulnerable people, people who might be disabled, people that are in need, yeah, people that are really suffering, and you can base it on love. And then situation adaptive leadership or adaptive leadership, when could you actually use that? So say you are a business owner startup and you've got a small team, just starts with you, then it goes to 2, 3, 4, 5. As your team is growing, you are going to need to adapt your approach. You might start by saying, right, I'm going to be very directive. I'm going to tell them what needs doing. Starts to grow, starts to become more of like a coaching thing. And it's like, just checking you need me, start to support, ask questions, delegate. And then it grows and it grows and it grows. I'll give you a real life example. When I used situation adaptive leadership, it was my first year in teaching. I used to be a primary school teacher. I remember my first year and I had to use this approach to leadership. I didn't even know what it was at the time. I just did it. And I wanted to be really friendly with my class, really jokey. they were a particularly immature year, meaning they just were very immature. That was their age, but they acted a certain way. And I realized I had to be a lot more firm with them because, like I said before, the maturity of them, yeah, and the competence to be able to follow instructions, they couldn't do it. So fine. I thought, right, what do they need? They need very firm boundaries. They need clear rules explaining. And I went with that approach for the most of the year, and it worked really well. And once we built those relationships, kind of 6 to 9 months in, towards back end of the year, towards the summer, we could relax a little bit, because we knew each other a bit better. So I liked that particular one because it wasn't just what's my approach, it was what do these people need? So the final thing, the third thing I want to do is give you some questions that you can ask yourself. You now reflect and say, well, okay, that's good, but like, how do I know, which one to choose? So start with the vision and your values. What are you all about and where you're trying to go? That's a really good one to start to think about. Is it all about service? Is it all about love? Is it you don't really know? It depends on the situation, like situation adaptive leadership. Think of your image. Yeah, think of where you're trying to go, and the values are. Think of your heart. Who are you trying to be? That's really, really important. The second question to think is, what does the situation demand or deserve? Say if you inherited a team, forget you for a minute. What do they need? Do they need you to be really firm because they've got away with everything, but your previous manager just didn't care? Or do they need you to give them a bit of love and encouragement because the morale is really low because this team you've inherited has been underperforming because the previous manager didn't care? Yeah. Think about that. What does the situation need? What do these people kind of need? And the third thing to really think about is your strengths. What are you really good at? Are you a kind of quieter person who's kind of more introverted? You might be a really good fit for servant leadership. Or you might say, no, I'm a very extroverted person. I'm very confident and I'm outspoken and very loud. And I'd like to lead with love and I like to be very inspirational. Yeah, that's really great. So just play to your strengths. And the reason you ask yourself all three questions is because if most people just go to their strengths, they go, I'm just leading with me. That's okay, but better is to always consider what do the people need. Remember that second question, what does the situation of the people need? Because it might be you want to be a certain way, but like I said, you might have to adapt, like I did with the children, to what they need. So ask yourself those three questions, and it'll be very clear. Write them down, think it through. This is the best approach to take. Yeah. And the reason you always start with vision and values is who you are and where you're trying to go. That doesn't really change. The inner you and what you're all about develops, But once you know your style, your approach, it starts to stay with you and develop. So to start with, you'll feel like you're faking it. You feel like you don't know. You feel like you're just copying other people, like these people from these books, like me, like I've copied everybody. But what starts to come out is with practice, you start to go, okay, that worked in this situation, but I'd like to be a bit more like this because this is more about me. Or, oh no, I was able to be just as I wanted. It grows, it grows, it grows, and it develops. So now you know 3 different leadership approaches you can take. Yeah, 3 different kind of situations where you can maybe apply them, and 3 questions you can ask yourself to make sure you take the right approach. Because to be honest, people fall down with either being obsessed with themselves and just not thinking about other people, or more common is people that have too low opinion of themselves as a leader. What I would say is negate those two by focusing on the people. Focus on your followers, your team members, the people you're leading. Start from there, that servant heart, leadership, loving leadership. You won't go far wrong at all. So I hope that's helpful for you. Please let me know. Please give this video a like if you enjoy it. Comment below. You can subscribe to the Catalyst Leadership YouTube channel, and there'll be lots more good leadership content to come. So hope you enjoyed it. Take care. See you soon.